History has a funny way of repeating itself. When we look closely at how technology has revolutionized different industries, a common thread appears. It's a pattern of disruption, of old guards falling to new ways of doing things. This shift sent shockwaves through the media landscape. Traditional players, slow to adapt, found themselves outmaneuvered. The rise of user-generated content, fueled by platforms like YouTube and Facebook, created a tidal wave of information and entertainment. The gatekeepers of old, the newspapers and television studios, no longer held the keys to the kingdom. The audience had become the creators, and the platforms that enabled them became the new power brokers. When the cost of creation falls to near zero, the dynamics of an entire industry are upended. Content, once a scarce and valuable commodity, became abundant, almost infinitely so. Now let's turn our attention to the world of software. Like the media giants of the past, the software industry is built on a foundation of high costs and specialized knowledge. Developing software requires highly skilled individuals, the software engineers who translate human needs into the language of computers. But the ground is shifting once again. A new wave of technology, powered by artificial intelligence, is poised to disrupt the status quo. These AI systems are rapidly learning to code, to understand and translate human intent into functional software. As their capabilities grow, the cost of developing software will inevitably fall, just as the cost of creating content plummeted with the rise of the internet. Before the coming storm, the software industry stood like a formidable citadel. Its walls were built of complex code, its gates guarded by a select few who possessed the arcane knowledge of software development. Within its walls, companies thrived, protected by the high cost of entry and the specialized skills required to compete. Software was expensive to create, so it was priced accordingly. Licenses, subscriptions, per-seat fees, these were the levers of revenue generation, the lifeblood of the software industry. The high cost of entry stifled innovation, limiting the types of software that could be created and the problems they could solve. High walls, deep moats. The cost of software development was not just a financial barrier, it was a strategic one. Established companies, with their armies of engineers and vast code bases, had created deep moats around their businesses. New entrants, faced with the daunting task of replicating these resources, often found themselves priced out of the market. Software companies, with their recurring revenue streams and high margins, were seen as safe bets, reliable engines of growth in a rapidly evolving technological landscape. But this stability, built on the foundations of high costs and limited access, was about to be challenged. The language barrier. At the heart of the software industry's exclusivity lay a fundamental challenge: the language barrier. Computers, for all their computational power, spoke a language foreign to most humans. This language barrier created a dependence on software engineers, the skilled translators who could bridge the gap between human intent and computer code. But their skills came at a premium, further reinforcing the high cost of software development. This reliance on a specialized workforce limited the speed and agility of software creation. The rise of the AI translators. The emergence of large language models, or LLMs, marked a profound shift in the technological landscape. These AI systems, trained on massive datasets of text and code, were developing an uncanny ability to understand and generate human language. They were, in essence, learning to code. Unlike traditional software, which required explicit instructions for every task, LLMs could infer meaning from context, much like a human programmer. The AI translators were arriving, ready to bridge the gap between human intention and digital execution. Democratizing creation. The implications of this shift were profound. If large language models could learn to code, then the cost of creating software would inevitably fall. The barriers to entry, once guarded by the complexity of programming languages, would begin to crumble. Software development, once the domain of highly trained specialists, would become accessible to a far wider pool of individuals. Imagine a world where anyone with an idea could translate that idea into a working piece of software. The power to create would be democratized, unleashing a wave of innovation and creativity from unexpected corners of the globe. From scarcity to abundance. Just as the internet had transformed information from a scarce commodity into an abundant resource, so too would large language models reshape the software landscape. The high cost of development, which had long constrained the supply of software, would give way to an era of abundance, where software became readily available for every need and desire. Traditional pricing models, built on the assumption of limited supply, would need to adapt. The focus would shift from owning software outright to accessing it as a service, much like the transition from purchasing physical copies of music to streaming songs online. This new era of software abundance would empower users, giving them unprecedented choice and flexibility. The crumbling walls. The software industry, once an impenetrable fortress, began to feel the tremors of change. The ground beneath the giants was shifting, the once solid foundation of high costs and specialized knowledge cracking under the weight of the AI revolution. Established players, accustomed to dictating the terms of innovation, found themselves struggling to keep up. The rise of large language models was not merely a technological disruption, it was an existential threat. The very foundation of their dominance, the high cost of software development, was being eroded at an alarming rate. As the barriers to entry fell, a new breed of software creators emerged, armed with the power of LLMs and driven by a desire to disrupt the status quo. Startups, once relegated to the fringes, found themselves with the tools to compete head-on with established players. The balance of power began to shift. No longer were users beholden to the limited options offered by the tech giants. A wave of specialized applications, tailored to specific needs and niches, flooded the market. This shift in power dynamics wasn't limited to the relationship between companies and users. The democratization of software development unleashed a torrent of innovation. New applications, tools, and platforms emerged at an unprecedented rate, each vying for attention in an increasingly crowded marketplace. The challenge shifted from creating software to discovering it, from navigating the scarcity of the past to managing the abundance of the present. Users, once accustomed to a limited menu of options, found themselves overwhelmed by choice. This challenge gave rise to a new breed of intermediaries, platforms designed to connect users with the right software at the right time. As the software landscape fragmented, the ability to aggregate and distribute became paramount. The winners in this new era wouldn't necessarily be those who created the most software, but those who could effectively connect users with the tools they needed. Platforms with their vast reach and sophisticated recommendation engines emerged as the new power brokers. These platforms weren't just marketplaces, they were ecosystems, fostering communities around shared interests and needs. They provided tools for developers to showcase their creations, for users to discover and review software, and for businesses to connect with potential customers. The software industry, once defined by its exclusivity, was becoming increasingly open, accessible, and user-centric. Remember that Cambrian explosion in media? Well, we're on the verge of a similar explosion in the world of software. Just as the internet slashed the cost of content creation, leading to a surge in blogs, videos, and social media posts, large language models, or LLMs, are poised to do the same for software. Get ready for a tidal wave of new apps, tools, and platforms, many of which we can't even imagine yet. This explosion will be driven by the plummeting cost of software development. When anyone with a good idea and access to an LLM can create a functional app, the floodgates of innovation will open. This abundance won't just benefit consumers, it will reshape entire industries. Salesforce and its fragmentation. Consider Salesforce, the behemoth of customer relationship management software. Today, it's a comprehensive but complex platform used by businesses of all sizes. In the post-LLM world, Salesforce's dominance will be challenged not by another monolithic CRM, but by a constellation of specialized tools. Imagine a world where you no longer need a single sprawling CRM to manage all your customer interactions. Instead, you have access to a suite of modular tools, each designed for a specific task or industry. This fragmentation of the software landscape will empower businesses to build their own customized technology stacks, choosing the best-of-breed solutions for each function. The unmoating of software. This brings us to a crucial point, the unmoating of software. Remember those deep moats that protected established software companies? Those moats were built on the high cost of development, the complexity of code, and the scarcity of skilled engineers. In the age of LLMs, those moats will evaporate. As software development becomes more accessible, the barriers to entry will fall. Startups will no longer need massive war chests to compete with industry giants. This unmoating will unleash a wave of competition, driving innovation and pushing down prices. The new software gold rush. So what does this mean for the future of the software industry? It means we're on the cusp of a new gold rush, one where the real value won't lie in writing code, but in understanding human needs and building platforms that connect users with the right tools. The winners in this new landscape will be those who can curate, distribute, and recommend software effectively. Think of it like the App Store or Google Play, but on a far grander scale, encompassing every aspect of our digital lives. This is an exciting time to be involved in the world of software. The Software Reformation. The software world is on the brink of a reformation, as profound as the printing press or the internet. This transformation is not just a technological shift, it is a paradigm shift that will redefine how we interact with the digital world. The printing press revolutionized the dissemination of knowledge, making books accessible to the masses. Similarly, the internet connected the world, breaking down barriers and enabling instant communication across continents. Now we stand at the precipice of another monumental change. Just as those innovations democratized access to information, LLMs are poised to democratize access to powerful software tools. These tools, once the domain of highly specialized professionals, are becoming accessible to everyone. Imagine a world where anyone, regardless of their background, can harness the power of software to solve problems, create new solutions, and drive innovation. This is the promise of the Software Reformation. This isn't just about technology, it's about empowerment. Empowerment means giving people the tools and knowledge they need to take control of their lives and their futures. With the advent of LLMs and other advanced software tools, we are witnessing a shift in power dynamics. No longer will the ability to create and shape software be confined to a select few. Instead, it will be a skill that is within reach for anyone willing to learn. In the coming years, the ability to create and shape software will no longer be limited to a select few. This democratization of software development will lead to a more inclusive and diverse tech industry. People from all walks of life will bring their unique perspectives and ideas to the table, driving innovation in ways we can only begin to imagine. The barriers to entry are falling, and the opportunities are expanding. It will become a fundamental skill, as essential as reading and writing, empowering individuals to solve problems, build businesses, and express their creativity in ways we can only begin to imagine. Imagine a world where coding is taught alongside traditional subjects in schools, where children grow up with the ability to create their own software solutions. This is the future we are heading towards, a future where digital literacy is as important as traditional literacy. The software revolution isn't coming, it's already here. We are already seeing the impact of this transformation in various industries, From healthcare to finance, from education to entertainment, software is reshaping the way we live and work. Companies are leveraging advanced software tools to streamline operations, enhance customer experiences, and drive growth. The pace of change is accelerating, and those who embrace this revolution will be the ones who thrive. And it's about to change everything. The Software Reformation is not just a trend, it is a fundamental shift that will have far-reaching implications. It will change the way we think about work, education, and even our daily lives. As software becomes more integrated into every aspect of our lives, we will need to adapt and evolve. This will require a new mindset, one that is open to change and ready to embrace new opportunities. The question is, are you ready to ride the wave? The Software Reformation is an exciting and transformative journey, but it is not without its challenges. It will require us to rethink our approach to education, to invest in lifelong learning, and to foster a culture of innovation and creativity. But for those who are ready to embrace this change, the possibilities are endless. The future is here, and it is up to us to shape it. Are you ready to be a part of this revolution? Tell us, what are your thoughts on the AI-powered software? How do you see AI impacting the future of societies? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech content, and share this video with anyone interested in the future of AI. Thanks for watching.